Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectMeWithTiffany. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I have a question for you. Are you running away from success without realizing it? And it's like, well, if I'm not realizing it, Tiff, why would I say yes? This is why I did the episode. If someone had asked me that question, I would even say 5 years ago, even 4 years ago, I would have said no. Why would I run away from success? I'm all about success. I have my own business. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I work so hard, and I would have this whole thing, self-righteous thing going on, and I would be like almost offended by someone asking me that. And if you had any form of a reaction like that, you really need to lean in and listen to this. The reality is all of us resist success at some point, at some time, and in some way. All of us do, even incredibly successful people. In fact, especially incredibly successful people. There's an assumption that once someone reaches that like millionaire mark, like where I'm at, it's like, oh, they must not have that issue. They must not do any sort of self-sabotaging behaviors or have any money blocks or resist success in any way. Their like success mindset must be like on point. That is absolutely not true. It's just at different levels that you get to in success and monetarily, different things come up and different behaviors come up. And the fears morph and they change. Some of them get more complex because once you've worked so damn hard and you actually have the thing, then your fear becomes of not wanting to lose it. So it's like, I will, when I slip down that, very slippery slope of fear, I go down a path of, oh my God, I could lose this amazing luxury lifestyle I've created for myself. I could end up, living in a tent and have nothing and have to go, get a job and work for someone else. My worst nightmare, working under fluorescent lighting in a cubicle. I go that far. That far down the path, and I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years. Like, I've never stopped. I've never had to go get another job. Once I transitioned and side hustled out of corporate America, I never had to go back. That doesn't mean there weren't moments where I'm like, wanted to even go back because it seemed easier, and also thought, oh shit, I don't sell something soon, I'm going to be like whipping up some mochas at Starbucks. Which, by the way, is probably something I would do if I did lose it. If I did, which I won't, but lose everything. I mean, I am damn good at making all forms of coffee drinks. I'm just saying. I do not enjoy cooking, but I love making warm beverages of all sorts, including tea, including tea drinks, including matcha. Like, I am a freaking pro. Just saying. And if you want something to eat with it, you're going to have to toast a bagel. Okay. So we all do these resistance behaviors to success. It happens when we're really going finally after something, when you guys stop toe dipping and you really decide to go all in. All sorts of shit will come up to really test you. Do you really want this? Do you really want to do this? Or did you kind of force yourself to go all in and you really don't want it? If you're really all in and you have roadblocks, you have fears come up, you have a panic attack, you have anxiety, you end up on the floor in a fetal position like I used to, crying, like, what in the hell did I do? And then if you give up that quickly, you're not all in. All in is all that shit happens and you keep going anyway. That doesn't mean you don't take a few hours to like cry it out, or even a day or sometimes a week, but you keep going. So here are some subtle ways that you're actually pushing away and repelling the very things that you're saying that you want. And how confusing is that to the universe, to God, to angels, to whatever your higher power is? It's very confusing. You're sending mixed messages out there, which does not work in the law of attraction, does not work when manifesting. When you send consistent mixed messages, because all of us send mixed messages sometimes, that's not what I'm referring to. But when you're consistently sending mixed messages, you're saying you want your business to reach, 6 figures. You're wanting to get this rank in the network marketing company. You want this many clients in your business. You want to open more locations. You want to get that promotion at work, whatever it is, you're saying you want all those things, and yet your actions don't match. Either you're not doing shit, you're just toe dipping and you're not going all in. You vacillate, you'll go all in and then you retract it all and go back to being a toe dipper. You don't have consistency. You're either all in on fire or nothing. That is totally incongruent with saying what you want. So the universe goes, well, okay, mixed messages don't work in law of attraction. You must not want it that bad. It's not being clear what you want in your behavior and your words. Your words and actions have to match. So you sitting there vision boarding, rubbing crystals, getting injected with frog serum in Sedona, whatever the fuck it is, okay? You being blessed by a shaman. None of that is going to draw in what you really are desiring and wanting in your life if your actions don't match. A lot of people try the spiritual bypassing, which is a form of running away from success without realizing it. It sounds fun. It sounds luxurious. It sounds pretty. It's like, I'm going to bathe in this special essential oil that was blended by, a healer for abundance. And then I'm going to turn on my salt lamp, and then I'm going to meditate. And therefore, I'm going to call in everything I want. Yet, you've not written a fucking social media post that really does anything in days. You've not done videos. You have not gotten clear on your niche. You have not hired a fucking coach or hired anyone to help you to invest in yourself, but you're doing all these other things because it feels good. It feels easy. It's like tricking your mind in a way. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but you're not going all the way there. So it's like, it would be like, I'll give a great example. It would be like you want to get back into shape. You gained the quarantine 15 kind of a thing. And so you're ordering workout equipment. You've joined, Beachbody or something like that. You have pinned a ton of stuff on Pinterest for healthy recipes and meal prepping and all sorts of stuff. You even bought new gym clothes on Amazon, a yoga mat, all this stuff. And that makes you feel good because it tricks your mind into thinking, oh, I'm making progress. I'm taking action. I'm doing something. Meanwhile, you've done all that while sitting on your couch while watching, Married at First Sight or something, which is an amazing show, by the way. So you're doing all those things. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but you're not actually doing the uncomfortable thing, setting your alarm early, getting up when you don't want to, making yourself work out when you don't want to, making yourself work out when you don't feel like it, making choices of having broccoli instead of having a baked potato, and so on and so on. You're not doing the hard stuff. You're just doing the easy, feely good stuff. And that's mixed messages to the universe. If you're not willing to do the uncomfortable, scary, terrifying, hard stuff in order for you to reach the goals, to get the cash, to have the life, to create the freedom, to have the friendships, the love, whatever you want in your life, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. Or it might happen, but inconsistently. You might have a really good month, and then there's nothing, or it's never to have happen again. I see this very commonly with a lot of people in network marketing and people who have like online businesses, like coaching and stuff like that. They go all in, or they think they're going all in. They put it out there. They get some clients, or they get some people signing up, and then nothing happens again. And they're like chasing that first month, and nothing seems to be happening. And it's like, well, yeah, because your actions aren't matching and your actions aren't consistent. You're sending mixed messages to the universe. That would be so insane to think that I could buy a yoga mat, join Beachbody or, one of those other things, pin a bunch of recipes, and that I could just, some days I show up and do the hard thing, and some days I don't, but some days I do. So therefore, what in the hell? Why am I not losing weight? Why are my jeans still not fitting? Why do I still feel lethargic and bloated? Like, what's going on? This is bullshit. Have you lost your damn mind? Why would it be working? Why would you be getting the results when you're putting in half or less of the effort? That's total freaking entitlement and insanity. That makes no sense. So I know some of you are going to be very annoyed with me today, but that's okay, because I care about you enough to say these things. Because I wish someone had said them to me. And that's always one of my goals here, is to teach you and share things with you that I wish someone said to me that bluntly, so I could absolutely hear it with like no fluff around it and just get right to the point. Because I'm someone where you have to hit me between the eyes in order, and right in the heart, truly, for me to hear something. If you are not achieving what you want to achieve, where you have consistent growth and progress, the first thing you need to look at is the common denominator, which is you. You're the common denominator. Instead of saying it's not working, I don't understand, I've been eating better, I have been working out. Oh yeah? How often? How much? Is it consistent? Are you expecting to have these great results when you're only putting in half the effort or less, or inconsistent effort? That's crazy thinking. That's totally being entitled. That's like an employee, you hiring someone and them, doing a good job half the time. And then it comes time for an annual review, and they're absolutely shocked that they didn't get a raise or a promotion, but they only put in half the effort most of the time at best. So you need to have that come to Jesus with yourself. You have to put in all that effort, even when you don't feel like it, to get what you want. I'm not saying it to a level of self-abuse or get to a level of workaholism or exercise addiction like I got. No, I'm not talking about that. But in order to have what you want in life, there's a lot of stuff you're going to have to do that's uncomfortable, where you don't feel like it, where you're unmotivated, where it sounds annoying, where you're feeling like a down day and insecure and you would rather hide. I have all those days too, and I show up regardless because I'm all in. And I know if I don't show up regardless, even when it's uncomfortable, even when I don't feel like it, even when I don't want to, I won't get the cookie. And I want that damn cookie. I want the cookie. I want the cash. I want the energy in my body. I don't want to be on my 600-pound life. Okay. I want the cookie. So if you really want what you say you want that badly, take a look. How are your actions adding up? And what actions are you tricking yourself into making you think they're really bigger than they are? Pinning recipes, buying office supplies, because that's one of mine, right? Like I am the most unorganized Virgo you'll ever meet. Now I love organization and having people do it for me, and then I'll follow that system as long as it's easy and it's set up for me. But I'm not an organized person. I don't think that way. I don't like spending the time on it. It sounds tedious and exhausting. So that's a lie. You know, I can tell myself with stuff, with office supplies, I'm going to buy all these supplies. I'm going to go to the Container Store and buy all this shit to get organized. And then gives me a temporary high, and I feel so good about myself. And I'm going to be on top of the world. I did all this at the beginning of quarantine, by the way. Like, I wish in a way those Instagram stories, saved somewhere so you guys could go back and look. I bought so much shit like that. And I know there's a lot of you who did too. It's all sitting in the corner of my office. When this episode releases, I'll make a point of showing you the corner. It's the office supply corner. There's bins. There's all sorts of things. So that's a lie I told myself. So I don't get to say, like, I really want to be organized. Like, that is a goal of mine. I want to be organized. I know it will save me time because I won't be always looking for something. It'll open more room for a creativity because my desk won't look like an explosion. It'll look pretty, so it'll be inspiring. So I really, really want this. Yet, what have I really done action-wise to match what I'm saying I want to the universe? I've bought supplies. That's it. I bought supplies while sitting on my ass. Obviously I didn't even go to a store to buy them. So I sat on my ass and bought supplies. And now I'm all of a sudden saying, well, yeah, I just want like Mary Poppins, or I think it's Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins to come in and, magically do it all because I bought supplies. So I need you to have that like real talk with yourself. Did you just buy the supplies? Did you just buy the course? Did you just buy the book? And then say, well, I've been trying things, I've written posts and I've gone on video and I've bought a course and I've bought books and, I've made a logo and it's still not working. Yeah, you've done some things, but that's not going all in. And in the areas where you're stuck, this is another way people run from success. And I used to be this way too. This is part of why it took me so long to really, really grow my first business, was because of this reason. I did not invest in my business, meaning I didn't spend money to make money. And I know you guys have heard that term. To start a business, do you really have to spend much money? No, you do not. But you really want to grow that business and shave off time, energy, headache, and cash, you absolutely have to invest. You need to invest in paying someone who has the success you want, who's gone before you, to tell you what works, what doesn't, to help guide you, to teach you the things that, so you don't sit there on Google and spend days and months and years trying to figure shit out on your own because you can do it for free, when in a couple months you could have learned all of that. I pay people to keep me accountable. A lot of you need to be held accountable. Why do you think there's been fitness trainers since the beginning of time? Okay. It's not because someone can't figure out how to fucking work out on their own and go on YouTube and go buy books and go mimic, correct form and postures and that kind of thing. There's more workout videos than there are anything out there. Well, aside from probably porn, but that's beside the point. You can go do that on your own, but people pay fitness trainers for specialized, customized training, but it's really for fucking accountability. You just push harder, you show up, that's what you're paying for. If you are not willing to pay for that for yourself, to move the needle faster, to be more efficient, to be more focused, to shave off time, then you're also not going all in. And I absolutely was guilty of that. Part of it was my belief, which was a way, was a subconscious way of running from success. I had that belief that I could only be so successful, but, I wasn't really aware that I had that, but that's what was buried below it. So because I believed I could only be so successful, I wasn't really going all in. Now on the outside, you would have gone, oh, she's all in. Like she's working 12 to 14 hours a day. I was a spaz. I was really, really trying. I would complain how much I was working and not getting enough sales and all this stuff. But the reality is that I wasn't all in. So therefore, I was spinning my wheels and having to work 10 times harder because I wasn't all in. I was almost trying to get away with being half in. That's why I always say, like, are you going to be done toe dipping and go all in? I might have not been toe dipping, but I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And you might as well just be toe dipping, because it's even more insane to be half in and half out because of how much time and energy you're spending. And on paper, it's like, I was making 6 figures, but I was miserable and killing myself to get it. And I was not hiring anyone to help me in my business. I wasn't hiring a coach to help me grow in my business. And some of you could go, well, of course you're saying that, Tiffany. You're a business coach now. This is what you're doing. I would be telling you this, and I told many people this long before I started Project Me with Tiffany Carter. I don't have to have this business. My soul had to have it. This was really important to me to give back, to help other entrepreneurs be able to get that financial freedom and create the lives that you guys dream and desire. Like, it is my way of giving back to be what I wish I had when I was all alone in it. It was a horrible feeling. And this is my way of giving back. I'm going to still make money at it. It's not a nonprofit. So I had to create it from like a soul level, but monetarily, I don't have to fucking do this. Therefore, I don't need to tell you anything for you to come and go, oh, now I need to hire Tiffany as my coach. You don't have to hire me, although you should. But I'm telling you this where you need to put your money where your mouth is. You need to put your actions where your brain is saying what you want. Your actions better match. You better be going all in and not just doing the things that feel fluffy and easy and nice and juicy and comfortable. You've got to do those uncomfortable things, and even those uncomfortable things in the days where you really don't want to. That's what creates success. If you don't have it in you to do it, which if you don't and you're honest about it, that's okay. Then now is not the right time for you. Don't keep spinning then. If you don't have it in you to do that, don't tell yourself the lie. Let yourself off the hook. And entrepreneurship isn't for everyone either. And some people think it is, and then you get in it and you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize this is what was required. It looks so sexy and amazing online with Polly the influencer bouncing around on a beach somewhere saying she's making 6 figures working an hour a day, which is, by the way, not fucking possible and not true. It can be true many years down the line when you build the infrastructure in place, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But off the bat, not true. But it's okay. Let yourself off the hook, but pick a lane. Either be all in or now is not the time. You try to do the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, the toe dipping, I am all in. And then a month from now, you get scared or something feels heavy or like a lot to you, or you feel tired and unmotivated. Now you're out. This is pure insanity. This is a jobby at its worst. Meaning, right? It's a very expensive hobby, not just money wise, but time and energy and effort you're spending, and you're not going to get a return or much of a return. And I don't want to see that for you. Other ways that you're running away from success are avoiding the harder personal development work, the harder inner work. So when people come to me and they're like, Tiffany, I've read all these personal development books. I've gone to Tony Robbins. I've had a therapist for years, and there's still something that's blocking me. Number one, I'm really impressed that you're finally taking action to get to the root of it. And the second thing I say is, You've gone as far as you can go with all these tools, and they did help you. They did get you somewhere. So let's acknowledge and acknowledge those for that, and acknowledge yourself for doing that level of work. But now it's time to really do the work and go really deep. And this is where it's uncomfortable. This is where there's lots of shit that's stirred up, lots of uncomfortable feelings. I call it sitting in the dirty diaper. And that's also something that's necessary for you to have success, and resisting and avoiding really going in on those things that you know are blocking you, or where you're resisting from the very thing you know you want. You know, you're terrified of showing up on video. You're afraid of putting yourself out there. You want to, but something's stopping you. You get really stuck in confusion. Like, what's my niche? Is this the right niche? This industry's satisfied. You're stuck in indecision, indecisiveness. What do I do? That horrible stuck feeling, that all comes back to doing this deep inner work. That's the key to unleash that, to remove that block. But it's hard, it's uncomfortable, and it's not always fun, but it is always worth it. So you have to be willing to do that too. And if you don't have it in you right now, that's also okay, but pick a lane and make a decision. Don't say you want something and then not be willing to do the work. Hire the people to help you, guide you, and navigate you through that. And just be willing and set appropriate expectations that, you know, if I say I want what I say I want, there's going to be days, there's going to be weeks that are really hard, and I'm committing to myself, to my family, to my goals, to my dreams, to the people I want to help, to the freedom I want to have. I'm committing anyway. That's when you know you can go all in and you're having a real talk with yourself. But if now's not the time and you don't have it in you, that's also okay. No judgment from me. I would rather you say, you know what, now's not the time. I really don't have it in me. That's okay too. But don't try to be in both worlds. I want this, but yet I'm only half in. It's insanity. You'll burn out. You'll be exhausted. You'll turn people off. You'll end up in depression, anxiety. Oh, it'll cause so much more damage, you guys, and it's totally insane. I spent a lot of time in that zone, and it was not good. And there is another way, I promise you. So I want you just do that for yourself. Maybe this episode was enough for you to have that kind of real talk with yourself. But go for a walk. Lay down, exercise, I don't know, whatever you have to do to where you just have some space. I like that free thinking space, and just have that honest talk with yourself. And it's okay either way. If now's not the time, then maybe it's not your time. Maybe that's next year. Maybe entrepreneurship isn't for you and you've been judging yourself about it and you really hate it. And it's not for you. And that's also okay. Maybe being an employee really isn't for you and you've been trying to make it work in every which way and it's not. And it's time for you to do something else. But I need you to have that conversation with yourself. Something that I feel will help give you some perspective, especially if you feel like you have money blocks, is to take my free money quiz I created for you guys. It takes just a couple minutes, but it'll help you see and identify the deeper reason and behavior behind your blocks. Go to projectmewithtiffany.com/free money quiz. projectmewithtiffany.com/free money quiz. You can also just go to my website, projectmewithtiffany.com, and it's right at the top. It says free quiz. It'll offer you some insight. Obviously, it's not everything, but it'll offer you some really good insight, especially if you feel like I said, you're blocking abundance. Something's not connecting financially. It'll help get below the surface on that. If you love this episode, please go leave a 5-star written iTunes review. I am gifting all of you guys who are showing your gratitude and love for the show with a specialty coffee drink from Starbucks or wherever, and or a smoothie, depending on what your favorite drink is, for leaving a 5-star written iTunes review. It takes about 90 seconds. You don't know how to do it, Google it. It's simple. It's just not obvious if you go on the platform itself. And you do not have to have an iTunes account in order to leave the review. You can be in any country in the entire world and still leave a review. Then make sure you put your name or your Instagram handle inside the review. Then DM me on Instagram. Let me know that you left the review so we can cross-check. And then I will be so thrilled to cheers you and treat you to a coffee drink of your choice or a smoothie for being such a loyal listener and for all of your gratitude. And I want to show my gratitude in return. Wishing you guys great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.